Hey, hey. Whoop. Hang on. My plug. Whoop. Alright, we should be working. What's up, Miss B? Hey, sweet misery. Alright, I don't have a lot of time because I have to work. The fuck? Alright, take two. We're not going to move the microphone. Alright, it should be good. So, I don't have a lot of time. So, we're going to make this as quick as possible. That's why I went live on a last minute dime, because it'll be easier because I know there won't be a lot of chatters. So last night I promoted the fuck out of Moon, and I regret that decision today. Let me back up. One thing you're never going to get with me is someone that's fake. One thing you're not going to get with me is someone that likes someone just for views, just to get their subs. I've never been that way. I will never be that way. Whether you like me or not, I'm as real as they come. And that is something that is so fucking rare on these streets. And you know what? I'll stand by that. Now, hey, Phoenix. A long time ago, and I've told this story before, but a long time ago, John Crimes said, when John Crimes first came to the scene, I don't know if a lot of you guys know who he is. He was hanging out with Molly a lot. And I don't remember exactly how it transpired, but he had said to me, you know, I don't understand why you don't fake it until you get to where you want to be, which at the time was 100,000 subs. I said, John, I will never fake being who I am. You will never see me like someone to get their subs. You will never see me sit there and beg for super chats for dog food or anything like that. People want to give me money? Great. If they don't, great. I'm okay either way. You're not going to see me do a bash for cash. You're not going to see me not call something out that I see. And you're not going to see me be fake to everybody to fit in with the crowd or to get better numbers. No, I have the opposite belief. Build it and they will come. I have always been that way, and I will stand by that. I don't play these YouTube games like other people do. I don't share screenshots like other people do. I just don't fit in with this community because I'm not dirty like them. And I don't play this bullshit like them. And again, I'm perfectly okay with that. So, a couple of years ago, a subscriber at Patreon came to me and said, you have got to see this. You have to call this out. And it was Cam and Alli doing drugs on screen, kind of like hiding behind Summer Wells. I went fucking ballistic. The whole community turned on me. The whole community said I didn't know what I was talking about. How dare I? How dare I accuse someone of being on drugs? Okay, I know what I know, and I know what I see. Everybody said, you don't know what you're talking about. How dare you? I knew exactly what the fuck I was talking about. Hey, True Texan. Much like I know Brittney is taking prescription pills. Yes, I know it. People don't want to believe it. That's on them. The truth will prevail and the truth will come out. They don't have to believe me. They can shun me. They can unsubscribe from me. I don't give a fuck. You want to know why I don't give a fuck? Because I know I'm right. And again, just like she didn't fall asleep and then it came out she was falling asleep. Just like she didn't go to a prescription pain place, but she did go to a prescription pain place. Just like every other lie she's told to hide her own addiction, her taking prescription pills will come out. And again, there's nothing wrong if a doctor is giving her prescription pills. The problem is she's a fucking liar. That's the problem. And anyone that's lying like that is in active addiction because there's no reason for her to lie about it. So it will come out. Just like every scammer that I've called out, that everybody told me, you're so wrong. We're going to denounce you. We're kicking you out. Blah, blah, blah. When it all came out, guess who was right? Yep, I was. And this didn't happen once or twice. This happened continually, over and over and over again. So you don't have to like me, but my track record on calling out scammers speaks for itself. And do I have a list on my own? No. But the truth is, you can find it. And it's one of the reasons that I built so much hate against me is because when it turns out that I'm right, people get mad. And people get pissed that I've been right. So again, I did not turn on Brittney. I don't really care if you don't like what I had to say about Brittney. I didn't say anything bad. I said what I felt and what I see with my own eyes. And if people can't handle what I see with my own eyes and what I know from personal experience, I'm sorry, you're wrong. And at first, I wasn't sure. At first, I couldn't tell if I was right or wrong. So I said nothing. Once I was able to see it, point out blank, yeah, she's taking prescription pills. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Why she's lying about it, that's the problem. Saying that she's just tired when she denied falling asleep for the longest fucking time. Oh, I thought you didn't fall asleep on streams. Why are you hiding falling asleep? Why is she hiding everything? I'll tell you why. Because that's active addiction. People that are in active addiction lie, and more lie. And they lie to cover up their own addiction. It's addiction 101. So for those of you that are over in Moon's chat that are like, we don't like what Laura had to say, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I don't care. You obviously don't understand addiction, lying with addiction, how it all works, the cycles, and hopefully you don't know. And it's okay if you don't know. But if you do know, and you're sitting there telling me I'm wrong, I question how much about addiction you actually know. I am dumbfounded at some of the people and some of the comments that I saw in Moon's chat. And I wasn't even there long. I was only in there for about 15 minutes. And then Moon does a poll that says, should we block Laura? Don't worry, Moon. I'll never be in your fucking chat again. You'll never hear from me again. I will never contact you again. I will not fuck with you again. You don't have to worry about it. I see exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it, and I don't fuck with fake like that. Sorry, not sorry. Angela was one of the people that just turned on Brittney so badly. Gave Queen Bee all this mod talk and all these messages and all this other stuff. And sticking up for Queen Bee didn't work out for Moon, did it? Well, now what's she gonna do? So she goes over to Brittney. Stoned as a motherfucker last night. It was hard to listen to. But Moon admits she gets high. Hey, Yarn. Moon admits she gets high. And it was difficult to listen to last night on Brittney's. But point being, and now all of a sudden Moon is all rah-rah Brittney. She wasn't when she was sticking up for QB. That's the kind of shit I don't roll with. That's the kind of attitude. I know, how will I ever go on being Black to Moons? Hey, Chainsaw. You know, and like everyone warned me about Moon and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I was like, no, I told Sinner he was wrong. And I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about her. But I see how she is as a YouTuber. And that's not what I fuck with. Like I said, I don't do fake. I don't do sub poaching where I'm just going to be nice to someone so I can get their subs, so I can get their big money spenders. That's not me, and that will never be me. And like I said, I just don't roll like that at all. And Lindsay, I'm also against everything that happened to Brittney. Nobody said otherwise. And I've said that multiple times. But that doesn't take away from the fact of what I said about Brittney being on prescription pills. Plain and simple. The two do not have to. You can have two things that are true. Brittney was a victim of harassment. Hands down. Totally never took that away from her. But there comes a point in everybody's career, she could have stopped it. But instead, she kept going and going and going and going. Hence, where they are now, where she is now. There's a big difference between being a victim and not aiding and abetting it. And I have said always, she definitely was a victim. But at this point, this is no longer victimhood because she keeps feeding into it. Jules did a live last night that was awesome. I mean, she did it like 1 o'clock in the morning. And she talked about all of this. And she also talked about that there's a lot of people that truly care for Brittney. But Brittney wants to insult a lot of people's intelligence to keep bringing in that mighty dollar instead of admitting what's really going on. Now, I don't know anything about Craig. I can't say anything about Craig. I've never watched him. I've never watched him on TikTok. That's her personal life. I don't give a fuck what goes on with Craig or anything else. But what I do see is somebody that needs help. And that's because they won't be honest with themselves. And if they're not honest with themselves, they're not going to be honest with their subscribers. They're not going to be honest with their audience. And again, I don't know how she treats her kids. I don't know how she is as a mom. I don't know any of that, nor do I care. That's not what I pointed out. What I pointed out is that she is on prescription pills and probably taking too many of them to not out like that. And the fact that she's still denying it is an insult to any addict out there. It is an insult to anybody that is maybe struggling right now. It's an insult to anyone that lost somebody due to prescription pills or pills that then escalated to something else. And if people hate me for that, I am perfectly okay with it. And if people hate me because I truly want her to do step one and own it instead of deny, then hate me for it. I'll be able to sleep at night. Because I know at the end of the day, I've tried my best to let her know I'm here. You want to talk, you want to come clean, you want to admit it, I'm here. The worst thing that you can do with an addict is sugarcoat it. When you see someone in pain, people say, I don't think she is that bad, or I don't believe she's on any prescription drugs. I think she's just tired. Your lips are not gray when you're tired. Your face and your skin color is not gray when you're tired. And that's not lighting. She's in the same lighting all the time. She looked like she was dead. And that is from drugs. And again, when I say drugs, I'm not talking she's shooting dope. I'm talking prescription pills. Legal prescription pills. That is what I'm referring to. Now, I can't speak for anyone else. That is what I'm referring to when I'm talking about pills. When I'm talking about drugs. And again, just like she denies everything else, and then it comes to light, this will be the same. Mark my words, clock it here. I'm telling you this for a fact. And a lot of people say, how do I know this? Because I've been there. That's how I know this. Not only have I been there with myself, I have been around lots and lots and lots of addicts, because addicts stick together. That's why I have a lot of addicts in my inner circle, both real life and YouTube life. Addicts are drawn to each other. And at that same drawing to each other, we see what others don't. And I can't stress it enough. So, hey, Steph. There are so many people that come to the realization that they're an addict, and it scares the fuck out of them. It is the hardest realization, I think, to ever come to. I'm an alcoholic. I'm a drug addict. I'm a cokehead. I'm a crackhead. I'm this. It is the hardest, what's the word I'm looking for? The hardest reality that any addict has to face. The second hardest reality is living life on life's terms. There is nothing scarier than someone telling you you no longer can have a crutch for whatever reason. You can no longer have a crutch. You now have to live life on life's terms. There is nothing more eye-opening. There is nothing scarier. And there is nothing that will make you want to use again by hearing that. And the first couple of times that you have to actually do live life on life's terms and you don't have a crutch, it's hard. It's a very hard reality. Make a wrong turn once or twice, dug my way out, blood and fire. Bad decisions. That's all right. Welcome to my silly life. Grain, I hear you. I made that wrong turn way too many times. I was in that maze going back and forth for years and years and years. And let me tell you something. I quit cocaine in 2008. My first real test was 2013. 2012? When did I go to jail? Either 2012 or 2013. And when I was in there with all these drug addicts. And I was only in there for contempt of court from a custody fight. Because I wouldn't give my son to his dad. Because he was on drugs. Twice. So I went to jail. And you know what? Like I said, I would go to jail again if it came to my kids. No questions asked. So when I was in there, though, when I came out, all I wanted to do was get high. And then I'm like, Laura, you don't get high anymore. Don't worry about it. You don't get high. And I was like, you know what? I can do this. I can get through this. And then my dad died, 2014. And that was probably the hardest day of my life. But I got through it. Didn't need alcohol, didn't need drugs. Just got through it. And every day, that's what my life is. Will I ever do cocaine again? I don't know. I couldn't tell you if I will or I won't. But I won't do it today. And cocaine was my downfall. I never cared for prescription pills. I don't even take fucking regular pills. My Adderall is the only thing I take. You want to know why? Because it keeps me off cocaine. And I'm not embarrassed of that. I'm not afraid to say that. But that's my addiction. And people say, oh, you abuse your pill. I don't abuse shit. I take 2 fucking Adderall every day for the last, 10 years, 15 years? And that's what I do. And I'm not embarrassed of it. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not ashamed of it. It is what it is. And that's what I need to keep me sober. Okay. If Brittney came out and said that she takes this to keep her off this, I don't care. Just, the problem is she's not owning anything. She won't admit anything. And that's where the problem lies. There's no shame in being an addict. There is no shame in not in relapse. Shame is the number one reason that people go back to drugs or go back to alcohol. I'm not even going to separate them. Alcohol is a drug. I'm just going to keep it together. As I said last night, and I mean it, I have so much fucking respect for Sinner in his trying to be sober because he's not bullshitting anyone. Yeah, I fuck up. Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah, I got drunk. He owns it. That is somebody, and I'm not talking whether you like him as a person or not. No, she doesn't, Grain. I'm not talking if you like him as a person or not. You can hate him as a person. I'm just talking his recovery, his addiction. I am so respect the fact that he owns it. And him owning his own addiction is the very thing that will eventually get him sober forever. That is what I respect most about Sinner. And that would be for any addict. When you can admit, yeah, I'm an addict. And you know what? I'm trying really fucking hard to get sober. Eventually, it's going to change for him. Even if he fucks up again. And I hope he's listening. Even if you fuck up again, Sinner, it's okay. Because your attitude is what's going to get you sober forever. One day, it's just going to click. I never, ever, ever thought I would stop doing cocaine. Ever. I was like, hey, I'm going to do it forever. I am. I just am. It's never gonna, my body's never gonna not want it. And then one day it just clicked. One day I'm like, you know what? That's it. I cannot do fucking cocaine anymore. And that was the last day I ever did it. And that was after years, and I'm talking years of trying to stop. And I really never saw the end. I never thought I would be able to turn it away. I never thought that I would get to the day that it was like, never again. But I got there. And I had one, actually I shouldn't say that, I had one relapse right after that, and I didn't like it. I was like, this isn't even fucking worth it. So Tuesday night, Jules is going to come on my channel. I know, right? Fuck Coke. Jules is coming on my channel. We're going to talk about addiction. We're going to talk about recovery. Like I said, if you guys don't know Jules, if you're not from the DC, Jules is a licensed psychologist for years and years and years and years. Her husband, really nice guy, but her husband is a cook. He loves to barbecue. If you ever want to get on her good side, ask her husband for recipes. I go way back with Jules to the Chris Watts days, so I don't want anyone to think I'm jumping on some bandwagon about Britney. No, I totally go way back with Jules, and you can find her on my panel 5 years ago. So just want to throw that out there because I know a lot of people think Britney, me all of a sudden, I never believed Jules was a doctor. Yeah, I've had Jules on my panel many of times about her being a psychiatrist, a drug counselor, someone that's also had issues. I don't remember if hers was prescription pills or alcohol. But she's also been in recovery. I mean, it makes the best counselors. She knows her shit. And so she is going to come on Tuesday night. I know that some people are triggered. And to those of you that are saying that Brittney has had enough on her plate and Brittney is, she doesn't need to tell YouTube. And I agree with all of that, 100%. But the problem lies when she is on camera and falls asleep. That's where people are going to talk. I'm sure that, I'll give you an example. I'll use her as an example, Queen Bee. We know Queen Bee is smoking pot, but we don't see it. Queen Bee could be sitting there naked, smoking pot with her feet up on a couch and having sex while she's doing it. But you know what? We don't see it. It's not in our faces, so nobody could talk about it. Burnt Toast could be sitting there with a bottle of wine getting fucking hammered while she's doing a live, but we don't see it. When you put it on front and we see it and it's on social media, people are going to talk. So I do agree that she wouldn't need to admit it to everybody if she didn't put it front and center. I don't need to know if Burnt Toast is sitting there with a bottle of wine, which she probably is, but I don't need to know. And Burnt Toast, I'm not calling you an alcoholic. I'm just using you as an example. Burnt Toast could be a huge alcoholic and, drinking nonstop, but we don't know. I know, right, Leo? I don't know why I said it. Like sitting, I see her like with a crack pipe. No. The visual, I know. Sorry, guys. But Burnt Toast, I'll give you Burnt Toast because we don't even know what she looks like. So we'll stick with Burnt Toast. Burnt Toast could be sitting there with a bottle of wine and a 12-pack of beer and getting wasted every fucking night. But we have no idea. She could be the biggest alcoholic in the world, but we have no idea. You can't talk about it because we don't see it. That's what I'm saying. When you put it out there and...
Mama. Are you live?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
What?
Would you do me
Make
a favor?
it quick. What?
Would you do me a favor?
What?
Would you order me 2 movie tickets?
For the con, I told you I have it.
I know, but we want to watch it we want to watch my TV, but we can't do that. I've tried every way possible.
Alright, you gotta wait though.
But I already know renting it. If I wanted to rent it, it's not out anywhere, and
No.
it's gonna be just as expensive anyway.
No, it's free.
Only if you do it illegally.
Alright, I'll do it when I'm done. I gotta take a shower though.
You could order.
What time movie?
It's probably. Here, do you know what Mega D movie is? Is that where you move?
XD?
Is that where you move around and shit?
No.
No, it's just a bigger screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Just do the one that's around 7 or so.
Alright.
Thank you. Are you painting today?
What?
Are you painting today?
Yeah, after work.
Because she's.
I have to watch The Old Man today.
She's gonna come over later. Marine is.
Alright.
Hang out, but I have to leave at 2:00 because I have film for football until 3:15.
I won't be here. I gotta watch The Old Man today.
That's fine. But yeah, we just really want to go watch a new movie.
Alright, I'll do it when I'm done.
Alright.
Love you.
Love you too.
Okay. But you guys understand what I'm saying. Leo, I already have the movie. That's what I'm telling him. But he's saying he can't watch it on his TV. So they want to go to the movies. I did hear it was a movie to watch in person, though. I mean, at the theater, but... Alright, so let me get back to this. So what I'm saying is, Burnt Toast could be an alcoholic, but we don't have to see it. So, but when you put it on Front Street and you put it out there, yeah, you kind of do need to apologize to... You kind of do need to own it to everybody because you put it out there. That's where she is wrong. Others maybe use substance on live streams and might have addictions. Their function, but at this point, BJ is not... Thank you. I agree, Nina. Nina says, I agree that while others maybe use substances on live streams or might have addictions, their function, but at this point, BJ is not a functioning addict if she cannot stay up. Constantly nods off.
I don't want a full piece. Eat it.
And that is true. And the lies on top of lie on top of... She keeps lying. And she keeps lying to herself. And she keeps lying to others. And it's just... She owes her subs an apology. But she's not going to do that until she comes clean with herself. And again, this is not against Britney. See, a lot of people... Eric, I never ever said that she was on illegal drugs. Ever. I said she was on prescription drugs. She's denying it. Craig basically confirmed it. And still denying it. Here's another thing. She's doing all of these live streams with her kid right there. That's wrong. Now, at the same time, What goes on at her house is not my fucking business. If she wants to have her kids right next to her, that's on her. I can give an opinion on it, but I'm not going to judge her for it because that's not my business. It's not my house. I got to worry about my house. But when you constantly hear a kid say, "Mom, wake up, wake up, wake up," that's a problem. People are going to say, "Brittney, take care of your child. Put him in his own room. Your kid shouldn't be that close to you." That's what people are going to say. Yeah, her kids are often waking her. And most of YouTube in this community is going to talk about it. As I said yesterday, and I mean this, I can't say it enough. When you have eyes on you all the time, you have to be careful. I had some asshole come in Jules last night. I told everybody when Phoenix was 15, I left a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old alone. Well, it was actually two 15-year-olds and a 17-year-old alone for the weekend because I had to take Dayton somewhere. I had haters. I convinced all of YouTube that my son had a gun. CPS was called. I don't give a fuck. He didn't have a gun. I laughed when CPS came. Oh, we got a call that your son had a gun and blah, blah. I don't own a fucking gun, you idiot. But I told YouTube I did, and YouTube bought it, and nobody fucked with my kids while me and Dayton were gone. Because I knew I had haters, and I didn't want anyone fucking with my kids. So I told everybody, my son had a rifle, my son had a gun. I mean, we have neighbors that have guns. It's Alabama. There's guns everywhere. But because my address is so easily out there, yeah, I convinced my haters that my kids would shoot you if you even come on the property. Well, guess what? Nobody fucked with my kids. Nobody. And this asshole came in there last night. It's like, you don't believe in kids with guns, and, your kid had a gun. My kid never had a gun, you fucking moron. But you're the idiot that bought into it. So then they came back and said, "Oh, and you abuse your pills." I don't abuse my pills at all. But this is what haters do. Haters find something, they twist it, they'll do whatever they can, and you have to be on your best. So, her saying that, "Oh, it's the stress that's doing it," no, that's bullshit. Stress from the haters should make her realize at this point you don't get that high on a live stream, so you give them ammo. That's what she has done. She has given them ammo over and over and over again. And like I said a couple of days ago, she's got that check mark. Just keep hitting that check mark. Because the haters say you do this, and then you do it. Haters say you do that, then you do it. Haters say you're asking for this attention, you ask for this attention. It's so fucked up. Alright, real quick, I don't want to get off subject, but I don't want to forget. If anyone's on my Twitter, see what I posted. I found out from Brandywine that it's because it keeps switching from one mic to the other. When Brandywine posted what what's her name did, what Chris Proudfoot did yesterday, that is fucking disgusting. You have a missing kid, and you're sitting there making fun of fucking Britney? Chris Proudfoot, you are disgusting. You are everything that people say you are. Fucking vile trash. absolutely disgusting what he did. He pretends that he's a process server and goes to Clue and Cletus's house, like pretending to be a process server for Brittney. Are you not looking for your fucking son, you retard? Absolutely fucking vile. Pay 6 up. Absolutely fucking vile what I saw last night. And I posted it. I was like, this is disgusting. You are fucking gross. Who does that? Like, literally, who does that? You have a missing stepson, you fucking idiot. Fucking disgusting. I'm sorry if that pisses anyone off, but that was the most vile thing I ever fucking saw. Gross. Oh, he was dressed as Seth? Oh, I didn't realize that. Chris was dressed as Seth, the father of the child he admitted to beating with a belt. That's what I'm saying. Fucking gross. Yeah, I get it, Whistle Down. It was just disgusting. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Who does that? I'm not saying that you have to sit and cry every day over your, missing stepson. I get it. It's been, a year and a half, and of course you're going to smile. But that's not something you joke about. It's just not. It's fucking gross. And I don't know. I just don't find that funny at all. Seems he got brave after the recent FBI post about the case. I agree, Leo. Fucking gross. And I'm not a Seth fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. This isn't all about Seth. This is about an innocent child who's missing, who's either dead or missing or kidnapped or stolen or something. Yeah, even Don Wells didn't do something as vile as that. Hey, Gigi. It was just gross. Absolutely fucking gross. That's true, 6 Up. All these parents who hook up with YouTube creators, well, it's bad. It's already been a bad idea. Well, with all due respect, none of us have done anything to me personally, and I'm just kind of done with the we don't talk to them. I feel for the victims in this and the ones being sued. Not my fight, though. It depends how you look at who's being sued. Oh, I agree with you, Bad Wolf. I also believe that they know exactly where he's at. 100%. At least one of them does, or both of them. So I'm with you on that one. I didn't want to get sidetracked, but I just had to, when I saw someone mention Katie Proudfoot, I just had to put that out there. Because I was just so disgusting. And I just sat there like 3 o'clock in the morning, like, who the fuck does this? Who does this shit? I know, but that Rico was funny. But here's the other thing with the Rico. That shit could have been ended immediately. They should have fucking laughed it off from the beginning. I would have. Lacey, I'm going to bring that up. That's a good point. If people know, no matter how much you don't like someone, no matter how much you hate someone, and Patty, I'm talking to you here. No matter how much you think someone is wrong, at the end of the day, and even, all right, to be fair, I don't know if Petty did this before they realized Brittney was getting high, afterwards, if they saw she was like this, if they knew Craig was a drunk, all these factors matter. If they knew that they were in this toxic relationship, nobody should ever add to that. Because not only is it dangerous, but just from human nature, you should not add to the toxicity in an already toxic relationship. I don't watch Petty. I don't know, follow. I just heard bits and pieces of that whole thing. So I don't know when Petty did that. I believe it was way back in the beginning. But I've never watched Craig, so I don't know the situation. But I just think that's wrong. If knowing they were already in this toxic relationship, to add fuel to that fire, I don't agree with. Nobody should add fuel to that fire. And I'm not saying Craig is going to hurt her, but just the alcohol, the prescriptions, the kids, it's just a very toxic relationship. And going after Craig and flirting with Craig and whoever, you wouldn't want that done to you. Nobody would want that done to them. Nobody. I mean, imagine if Sinner contacted Queen Bee's ex and started talking to him, or a girl did. She'd lose her fucking mind. But she has no problem when it's done to someone else. And that to me is fucked up. And again, it's just my opinion. But I see completely toxic, unhealthy relationship. But at the end of the day, it's not my relationship. That's her relationship. That's her life, and she's got to live it. And if she wants to be with a guy who's a complete fucking loser, that's on her. You know what I mean? It's not my business. I believe her older kids live with the mom. I remember her saying once, and were raised by the mom, and she just has the younger ones. So, hey, Eliza. Not only does she have no problem with it being done to someone else, she participates. That's what I'm saying. Imagine if it was done to her. She would flip the fuck out. See, I don't know if the screenshot is fake. Like I said, I only saw bits and pieces from different creators that were talking about it. I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I just think that it's wrong in the sense of, if you already know they're in toxicity, why add to it? Like, we're adults. And sometimes adulthood gets lost around here. People forget that we're adults. And they just revert back to being a child. And they go back to being, high school. And I don't get it. But in all fairness, I don't know the situation. Maybe Petty did this before they realized how toxic it was. I've never spoken to Petty. I don't know Petty. First time she's ever even in my chat. I have no idea. Because remember, I'm just an irrelevant fool. Nobody likes me. Everyone wants to denounce me. I have no opinion. So there we are. They forget you're even absolutely 6 up. I guess it could be worse. I could be Ziggy. Then I'd really be miserable. I know Eliza and 6 up just gotta laugh at that. All kids should be off limits. I don't care their ages. That's what I'm saying. I don't... but understand too, you can't say that all kids are off limits when people hear your kids. My kids, for example, Dayton comes in here and talking. Someone is going to say something about my son. I can't help that. Because he came in here while I was on live. I'm not saying they're going to say something right now. But there have been times my son will, my son will come in here and then people will talk about, oh, did you hear Laura's kids come in there? Kids are off limits. Give me a break. The kid came in while I was on a live and talked to me while I was on a live. So, of course, people are going to mention it, or if he came in here talking about religion or whatever, it's ignorant to say that they hear your kids and someone's not going to talk about them at some point. It's just the way it is. And okay, I will address this once and only once. Little Daisy, let me spell this out for you since you want to play this game. I only know what Brittney said about her older kids living with a mom because Brittney said it. That's not speaking of her kids. That's repeating what she said on a public platform. That isn't speaking about her kids. I don't know her kids' names. I don't know what they look like. I've never seen a picture of them. Nothing. Just saying something that she said on a public platform. That doesn't equal, oh my God, you're talking about her kids. No, not even close. People do not need to enhance the background. Oh, Eliza, they did that to me. My boys were having a fight once. One of these idiot haters, who now follow Queen Bee, by the way, blew up the background sound to hear my boys fighting and made a video about it. Clue calling Britney's kids shit put. Exactly. That's talking about someone's kids. I agree with that. Lacey said, Clue calling Britney's kids shit puzzies and won't amount to nothing is disgusting and acceptable because they hate Britney. Yeah, that's wrong. I couldn't even imagine. Imagine saying that to one of them. But all kids are not off limits. They're just not. Exactly. It's one thing to say they could hear your kids. It's another to start attacking the character and looks of a kid. Thank you. 100%, Marianne. But all kids are not off limits. But they're not on limits where you can, calling Jones's kid a fucktard. Like, what the fuck was wrong with you? Who does that? You don't call it someone else's child a fucktard. And she didn't lose one subscriber over it. I don't give a fuck if you like Jonesin or not. You don't call somebody else's kid a fucktard, you fucking asshole. But I didn't hear the outrage for that. I mean, obviously I heard it from Jonesin. But I didn't hear the outrage from people. That was the most sickest, disgusting thing I heard on this platform. She didn't lose one sub over it. Nobody seemed to care. That's why I say this community has gone to fucking shit. And that's why when Brittany's like, oh, you want to get in good with them. Oh, hell no, I don't. I think they're fucking gross. And that's true, Bad Wolf. My kids have never been off limits. Ever. Nobody's ever called them a fucktard, but they've said their share. Because, alright, Little Daisy, I'm not arguing with you. You'll have to pay me for me to argue with you anymore. I've already answered you. I'm sorry that you're not smart enough to comprehend what I'm saying, but I refuse to argue with you. It gets to a point where everyone that I don't know will have to pay me in order for me to answer them again, because I've already answered you twice. Yeah, Leo. She called Jones's kid a fucktard. I could not believe it. I thought her shit was gonna tank after that. Nope. I was like, damn, she finally, backed herself into a corner. Nope, she didn't. She absolutely didn't. Hey, Janessa. Exactly. There's no harm in merely mentioning kids. Oh, it was a fuck stick. I'm sorry, fuck stick. Same thing. Was it a fuck stick or a fuck tart? I don't think it was a fuck stick. I think it was a fuck tart. Either way. Either one. It was gross. Bree, me too. That's what I just said. That's why I did this whole live. Leo, she does seem untouchable. I'll agree with that. I don't know why she's untouchable, but she does seem untouchable. I think people are stick. It was a stick? Alright, I'm wrong. Either way, it's so gross. It was fuck stick more than once. Either way, it was so gross. Gemma has a really good point. The difference is Brittney talks about what other people say about her kids in front of her kids. Good point. Oh, let me bring up something else. Hold on one second. Hold on, I gotta see what time I need to be there today. Alright. What's the difference? I don't know. Janessa, I have my feeling on that. I definitely have my feeling on that. But shit, now I forgot what I was gonna say. Let me back up because I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, CPS. Thank you, D. You just reminded me when you said CP. There were people in Moon's chat this morning that were talking about CPS is not traumatizing. CPS is traumatizing. Blah, 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 blah. And one of the girls said, I thought Laura was nuts when she said it until I asked my daughter who works for CPS, and she agrees with Laura. CPS is not traumatizing. It is 12. Okay. 12, 10? Hmm? 12:05. Alright, I got 5 minutes. I gotta get into a shower. But I'm gonna explain this again. Kids get spoken to all the time by different people. They just do. So, if you're in the mall, a cop may stop and talk to your child. A store owner is going to talk to your child. A teacher is going to pull your kid aside and talk to your child. There's nothing traumatizing by an adult speaking with a child. How things at home and blah. There's nothing traumatizing about that. Where it becomes traumatizing is when the adult makes it so traumatic that, oh my God, they spoke to you, and oh my God, this, and oh my God, that, and they're going to take you away, and these people are trying to get you away from me. That's dramatic and traumatic. Dramatic and traumatic. That's both. That's what Brittney does. Exactly. If your child is on the spectrum, it could be more stressful to... Not really, though. I think it's less stressful because they don't care as much. I think it meant less stressful. But there's nothing traumatic about an adult speaking with a child, period. It is traumatizing if they think they're going to get taken away and it's being pushed in their heads and it's taken away, and oh my God, these people on YouTube are trying to get you taken from us. That's traumatic. That's causing that child to, oh my God, that's causing that child to, oh my God, what's happening? Some adult wants to talk to me. They're going to take me. The police are here. The police are going to take me away. Because that's what they hear. When you tell a child, don't worry about it, they're going to ask you 2 questions. They'll be out of the house in 2 minutes. Okay, Mom. Bring them in a room. They're done. CPS leaves. What'd they say? Oh, nothing. They asked me if you beat me. They asked this. They asked that. Okay, don't worry about it. Nothing's going to happen. But CPS doesn't question your life. There's nothing scary about it. CPS workers, especially when talking with a child, they're very nice. They're sweet as pie. They're like, what a beautiful room you have. And did Mom do this? Did Mom do that? Does Dad do this? I don't know. To me, and maybe I'm wrong, but to me, it's all about the parents. If you put fear in your child, then guess what? Fear is going to be instilled in your child. Again, Lindsay, my kids weren't traumatized because of CPS. My kids were traumatized because 2 cops were standing at the door and accused my son of raping his 15-year-old twin sister. That's a little traumatizing. That's not their situation. In my opinion, what is traumatizing is the parents that make it traumatizing. An adult speaking to a child is not traumatizing. A cop may be, a cop speaking to a child may scare them. But even with that, if you teach your kid that cops are not the enemy and that cops are good people, then guess what? They're not going to be afraid of cops. My kids have never been afraid of the police. They were a little dumbfounded when, the police standing at the door and that was the accusation. That was a little dumbfounded. But regardless, any other cop, they're not terrified of. They're not scared of. Hey, Sly. But I don't, again, if you're a parent, don't fight in front of your kids. Period. Because your kids are going to hold on to it. Go outside and fight. I never knew my parents had a fight for 18 fucking years. I kid you not. I had no idea they ever fought until they stopped going outside. I understand every child is different, and many of you may disagree with me. But I taught my kids CPS is not something, it's just another adult that wants to talk to you based on false allegations. Nothing's going to happen. Don't stress over it. Don't worry about it. These people are assholes. And move on. And that's exactly how my kids took it. They never would, oh God, CPS here again. Another call, Mom. Why do these people keep fucking calling? But they didn't stress out. None of these other calls mattered to them. They didn't care about these other calls. No, you're not blocked. They didn't care that, CPS was called. They rolled their eyes. Yeah, they're going to ask me questions, blah, blah, blah. No big deal. No, my kids aren't every kid, but I raised my kids a certain way. And I raised my kids not to be afraid of CPS, not to be afraid of the police. If you're not doing anything and there's absolutely nothing but some YouTube bullshit, I keep a clean house, there's food in the fridge, there's no drugs, there's no reason for them to even question my parenting. And my kids are all, A students. They could check their school records. I'm sorry. To me, it's parenting. It's not the kid. It's not CPS or not the big bad evil people. It's the adult, the parents that are raising them to teach the kids, who they should really be afraid of. If you're not doing anything wrong and you have nothing to hide, then you shouldn't be afraid of CPS. Sorry, not sorry. The kids, whoops. All of this. Your child should not hear everything that goes on YouTube drama. Your child should not be in the room when all of this is going on for them to know all of this, for them to be traumatized. Don't you get it? You're just not getting it. You guys are making it out like CPS is the devil. No, the parent needs to take responsibility and go into another room. Do not get drunk around your child. Do not be passed out around your child. Do not nod off in front of your child. You're the parent. You're the adult. Act like it. Take responsibility. I do, Bad Wolf. I got 1 minute. Take fucking responsibility as a parent and be a fucking parent. And if you're truly a parent, then your kid won't be scared. Your kid won't be worried. Your kid won't be afraid of the police. It's just the way it is. And I don't care if anyone agrees with me or disagrees with me. That's the facts. Too many parents put responsibility on other people. No, it starts with you. It starts at home. It's not the teachers. It's not the psychologist. It's not the therapist. It starts at home. Be a fucking parent. Be a responsible human being. Be what you want your kids to turn out to be and better. And I mean that. I live that. My dad wanted nothing more than for me to do better than him. My mom wants nothing more than for me to do better than her. Did I achieve that? No. My dad was far more successful than I am. But my kids are all going to be 10 times more successful than me, my father, my mother, my uncle, anybody. And they have goals and they have dreams, and I will make sure that they see them through. Even if it means me having nothing, me suffering, doesn't fucking matter. I will live and die for my kids. And I will do everything for my children. And I will teach them proper values, proper morals, but I'll still give them the room to grow on their own. That's how 2 of them became fucking religious freaks. That's parenting. My kids have never seen me drunk. Ever. And I'm 53 years old. They're 17 and 20. They have never seen me drunk. They have never seen me high. Ever. There's a reason. And they've never passed out. I've never passed out around them. None of that. That's parenting. So, bye-bye, Laura's ghost. Have a good day. I am very passionate today because I'm sick and tired of people blaming so many other things instead of the factual. See, Lindsay, I can relate to that, not with my own dad, but with Dayton's dad. Drug addict, but he was a good dad. He was good to Dayton. Until, the day he died. But he was. And I can't deny that. And I always said that. He was an asshole, but he was a good dad. So, and if Brittney has a bad partner, then guess what? Then you need to step it up. Plain and simple. There's I don't want to hear about stress. I don't want to hear about any of it. The fact lies that she needs to be a responsible parent. Period. End of story. And if people don't like me saying that, well, I'm sorry. But it is what it is. That's it. I'm sorry, Lindsay. Yes, two things can be very true at the same time. But what's even more true, I gotta get my ass out of here and get into a shower. Otherwise, I'm going without a shower. So I got 5 minutes to take a shower, get ready, and 20-minute drive. On the poll, it's all gonna depend on if I get done painting in time. If I can, the movie will be at 9. If not, if you don't hear from me, we'll do the movie tomorrow night, guaranteed. All right. So that's it. I gotta go. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Remember, it all ends with you, and it all starts with you. You want good kids? Be a good role model. End of story. And I stand by that. Sorry, but I stand by that. And if you don't like that, I apologize. But that's me. So, have a good day. Build it, and they will come. I'm off. Peace.